LGBTQIA plus infants. That's right, I said LGBTQIA plus infants. Apparently the Harvard Medical School is offering a course focused on LGBTQIA plus infants. TheCollegeFix.com reads, Harvard Med class focuses on LGBTQIA plus infants and older. The course is directed by an LGBT activist. Oh, you don't say. So what's this about? Harvard Medical School students can learn about how to provide healthcare to infants who are LGBTQIA plus. God damn, I'm sick of saying that. According to a course catalogue description, caring for patients with diverse sexual orientations, gender identities and sex development. A regularly available med school course promises to give students a chance to work with patients who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex or asexual. Okay, firstly, I never got the T part. What does T have to do with G and B and L? One is related to gender and the others are related to sexuality. And herein lies the other problems.
What seems to be the officer problem?
We've been told for years and years and years by these blue-haired fucks that gender is a social construct. You've heard it all before, ladies and gentlemen. Gender is a social construct. Now, last I understood, there is no society in a womb. So how can you be a transgender infant? Like you pop out of the vagina, you look at the midwife, you look at mum and dad, you look at the doctor, and you go, oh, this is a society. I'm transgender now. This society has constructed my gender. I am able and willing to make this lifelong choice. I am now transgender. And how can you have a sexuality when you're an infant? Infants don't know what sexuality is. Kids don't know what sexuality is. This is absolutely batshit. And to be coming from Harvard Medical School is just beyond belief. Clinical exposure and education will focus on serving gender and sexual minority people across the lifespan, from infants to older adults. According to the course description, students in the course may also engage in a mentored scholarly endeavour, such as advocacy, quality improvement, medical education, original research or public health project. The College Fix asked Harvard Medical School via email what advocacy opportunities the course offers, how students are taught to treat patients with gender dysphoria, and if that includes counselling, and how medical experts will know if an infant is LGBT. The school did not respond to 3 inquiries sent in the last 2 weeks. Oh, you don't say. Remember people, this course is taught by an LGBTQIA+++ ABC activist. So of course it doesn't make sense. Like I said, you can't have a social construct without a society, and infants don't have a sexuality. They're infants. Here's an interview with some important guy on Fox News. Now this interview isn't specifically about LGBTQIA++ ABC babies, but it gives you a good picture of the kind of wokeness that present-day medical students are facing.
The Association of American Medical Colleges releasing new woke standard for medical students, requiring them to consider their identity, power, and privilege when treating patients. Do no harm chairman and former UPenn Associate Dean, Dr. Stanley.
Yes, Dr. Stanley, that's perfect. Chuck a bit of rubbish in the bin as you walk past. It makes you seem more human. We also would have accepted tilting one leg to let out a stealthy fart or scratching your left nut. Perfect, perfect.
Dr. Stanley Goldfarb is here to react. Doctor, not to be graphic, but if my chest is literally split open and there's a surgeon standing over me trying to save my life, why would diversity, equity, and inclusion matter one bit in that OR?
Well, good morning. Of course it wouldn't matter at all. And that's exactly what our organization is trying to push back against these standards, because they really don't speak to what physicians really do, which is to care for sick people.
And transgender babies, homosexual toddlers, etc. Gaybies, if you will.
Rather than become either social workers or social warriors in a quest to change characteristics of American life. And these standards are incredibly political, ideological, and really will do nothing to improve the health care of any group in America, including African-American patients at whom it's really aimed.
Let's drill down to the specifics. They are shocking. Here are the new standards. They include understanding oppression, white privilege, social risk factors, race as a social construct, and as if that wasn't bad enough, colonialism.
Yeah, what does any of that have to do with fixing my sore knee? Especially fucking colonialism. Like, are they going to quiz me? I only get the bandage if I know about Captain Cook and the oppression he delivered to the Aborigines. And I love how they put the white privilege and race as a social construct in the same list. You see, you've got to understand you benefit from this very real thing that we made up. It's not real. Perfect sense. Perfect sense.
What will this do to the training of our next generation of doctors?
Yes, and I think what your audience is seeing now is the fact that critical race theory has now come to medical school, and the concerns that have been expressed about that for secondary education and even primary education now comes to medical education. And it will do nothing to improve the health of the American people and do nothing to improve the health of the target audience here. This is an idea to create physicians to be advocates for various ideological positions and to encourage them to vote for candidates that are going to support these positions rather than a series of issues that are going to improve the way healthcare is delivered, which is really what our organization is concerned with.
That interview does go for longer, but I don't want to push my luck copyright-wise. I'll link it in the description if you want to watch it. But it's just another example of this woke insidiousness creeping into an industry it has no place in. It's like when that airline pilot thing came up a couple of years ago. You know, when they were talking about the diversity of their pilots? Bitch, I don't give a fuck if you're a woman. I don't give a fuck if you're black. I give a fuck if you can fly the plane. It's the same thing here. I couldn't give a shit about your wokeness or your social awareness or anything like that. I want to know if you can fix me and save my life and shit, you know? Anyway, if you want to support this channel, consider buying a t-shirt. Here's the story of a mad cunt Bearing who had a slightly bigger dick than most.
Talk about don't. Talk about don't. Talk about don't. Talk about don't. Talk about don't.
If you're offering something...
Oh, that's right, I was offering something. I was offering 20% off this fetching Bearing Bunch Apparel for the next week.
That should have been edited out.
The Bearing Bunch. The Bearing Bunch. That's the way I became a hairy cunt. Alright, well that was fun. If you have any comments, please leave them down below or at my super duper gay half stepbrother-in-law's Twitter account, bskills, with 3 L's. I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio. Recession, session!